Hello, my lovely Leo, and welcome to your weekly general energy reading. This is just a general reading, so please do take what resonates and toss the rest. Also, if you haven't had a chance to check out your June readings yet, they are up on my channel, including a love bonus moon reading and an abundance bonus rather. However, please do like, subscribe, share, all that other great stuff if you enjoyed this reading. Don't forget to hit that notification bell because I will be putting out July readings as well as moon readings and all the other good stuff you don't want to miss out on. And we will go ahead and get started here without further ado. Please note we don't do reversals on the weekly readings, but we do on all of the other longer readings. So let's go ahead and get started, see what we've got going for you, shall we? Alrighty, so looks like we have the King of Cups, the Lovers card, and the Ten of Pentacles. So we've got some big cards here for you guys. All right, the King of Cups is letting me know that for those of you who are single and ready to mingle, I am feeling like you are going to have somebody coming in for you that is really going to be a good, stable, strong, powerful match. Okay, so for those of you who've been looking, maybe you haven't even been looking, maybe you just, fresh out of a relationship, or maybe you've been out for a long time and you're just like, I don't really care, I'm over it. Maybe you've even given up, like I'm just done with it. But I do feel like somebody is coming in that is really, really a good, stable, strong person for you, okay? And the Lovers card is really further affirming that this is a really good match for you. So I do think that this is definitely something where, there's going to be a good connection there. So if somebody you've met recently is kind of piquing your interest, I do think this is a person that is, definitely worth looking into further, certainly of interest. And I do think they are certainly interested in you. If there's question in your mind whether or not they may have interest in you, I do think it's definitely there. So I don't see that as being a problem at all. And for those of you who may be in a relationship, this to me feels like perhaps, this is your energy in that regard, then, where you are possibly looking to take that relationship further to another level. So maybe if you're in a dating type relationship and you're looking to move it into the next step, the next level, moving in together, having kids, getting married, those kinds of things. If you're married, maybe you're looking into kind of just renewing your vows, something of that nature, having a weekend away, just something really enjoyable. I feel like this is your energy where you're like putting that out there and you're kind of standing on it, like this is what I want, this is what I'm gonna have. I'm putting out my kingly, gender neutral of course, kingly cups vibes and saying this is what I want, this is what I need relationship wise, emotionally wise, and I expect that, and it's going to be reciprocated. I do feel like you're going to get what you want. So I think now is the time, if that's something you've been contemplating and you're in a relationship and you've been like, should I kind of press the issue now, or we've maybe kind of discussed it back and forth, or this or that on certain regards, but I don't want to push it too far, push the envelope, this or that kind of thing. I think now's the time really to revisit, because I think you are in that position where you are feeling you're putting out those kingly vibes, and you've got the power, authority, and energy to do that, and I think it's going to be well received, honestly. So I think now's the time to do that. And for many of you, I do feel like I see that becoming an abundance situation, because the Ten of Pentacles down here is letting me know that for those of you maybe who are looking to move into like a marriage type scene, a moving in together type scene, a partnership type scene, even a dating thing, situation for a new couple, I think there's an abundance situation coming in here. Anytime you kind of couple up or join funds or join, where you're kind of sharing bills, things like that in today's, sadly, in today's economy, that actually helps for the most part. I mean, it's not any surprise that it costs a lot more to live by yourself than it does to live with somebody else nowadays. That's just the sad truth of economics. But, a lot of times this does equate to, a boost in your finances if you have two working people together versus, you trying to pay all the bills by yourself, or, having to, not getting to go have somebody help you with, dinners now and then, or bills here and there, or whatever it might be, you know, things like that. So I do think that all of this kind of does equate to, you know, joined, especially if you have a home and they have a home, and then now you have, you know, double the, if you are moving in together or getting married or whatever, you're kind of merging your economic finances, and it is going to be more of a lucrative type situation for the pair of you. So I do think that this is kind of going to equate to that for you. So, you know, I really see everything in a positive way. I mean, financially, it's a positive. I see the love situation there is a definite positive. So if there's questions whether this person, you know, is into you or not, definitely. If there's questions whether they are willing to take it to the next step, if you're already in a relationship, I think definitely. And now's the time to, you know, really push the issue. If you were like, I want to, but I haven't yet, and I don't know what to, I think you're in a good position. I feel you're in a kingly position to do that. So I think it's going to work out wonderfully for you. I don't see anything negative here, but let's pull a challenge card, because as we all know, nothing goes smoothly without some sort of challenge, unfortunately. But let's grab a challenge card here and see what we've got for you, my lovely Leos. All right, so we've got the 10 of Wands, and that's kind of like burdens, putting your burden down, right? And I feel like for a lot of you, that's the issue. A lot of you are, one, just afraid, okay? Your burden is your own fear, right? You are your own burden in some cases, because you're just afraid to approach this. You're afraid they might not go for it. They might say no. They might not be interested in you. So for a lot of it, I think this is really indicative of your own fears to push it. And I don't really see anything in here telling me that you should be afraid. I think everything here is showing me the opposite, okay? But I do see that you may be your own worst enemy in that regard, okay? On the other end of the spectrum, for some of you, I see this may be a burden, kind of carrying heavy burdens for some of you, where you aren't wanting to take a lot of the steps, go to the next level, because you feel like it would be a burden, honestly, to do that. There may be situations, okay? You may have a situation where some of you, it would take moving, switching jobs. You may have a long distance relationship, and it may be a burden to try to work those out logistically. It may be something where logistically to move in together, you have to, you know, both have houses. You got to move houses together, get rid of one, this and that. So I think a lot of it is maybe you guys are looking at it from a logistical, okay, that's going to take a lot of work, right? You're looking at it like, wow, it's a lot of work to do that. But again, don't look at it as work, okay? I think if you just change and reframe the way you look at this, and you look at it as, yes, okay, it does take some work to do that, but it's going to only behoove us in the end, because we're going to end out financially better, or, you know, also united and in a better financial position. So winning on both fronts. I think you really will be able to overcome this very easily. But I do think, again, for some of you, it's just your own fears. For others of you, it's just, I don't want to say laziness, but it's just like, wow, that's a lot to tackle. And it is, you know, they say what, moving is like one of the top 3 most stressful things behind like death and divorce or something. So it is one of those things that could be difficult for some of you if you have those kinds of situations where you're trying to move in together or get married, or, you know, move distances to be together. Those kinds of things, you know, could be logistical. But I do think that putting that burden down and moving forward will really be to your benefit. This is the Psychic deck. Let's see what we've got on the King of Cups here for you. Kind of get some clarification on that for you if we can. Alrighty here. Choose wisely. Okay, so I definitely feel like with you, you really do need to choose wisely. And I feel like this is something where, you know, for many of you, you've really kind of put off a lot of things. And I think a lot of it is really been detrimental to yourself. You've put off things because maybe you've been scared. Again, for a lot of you, I feel like you've just been afraid of either rejection, or you've been afraid that maybe they don't feel the same way, or you're afraid that if you push things too far, they will run, or whatever it may be. And I think you need to really choose, you know, what's more important. And I think you need to choose yourself. Choosing wisely is really choosing yourself. If you look at this, there's one person here, okay? And choosing yourself is never choosing poorly, okay? And I really believe that the thing here is choosing wisely, is choosing yourself. And if the person is going to not commit to you after such a, you know, of a certain amount of time, if you've given it time, if you have done all that, then you don't need that anyway. You're just wasting your own time, okay? And if it's somebody who isn't interested in you now, you don't want to try to convince somebody to be interested in you. Don't chase, right? Choose yourself, choose wisely, give the opportunity, give the option, and if they're interested, perfect. And I do believe they will be. Like I said, everything here is telling me they will be, okay? But if they don't, then that's news you need, right? That's information you need so that you can choose to move on, right? So that's making a wise choice. But again, this is all here, you know, it's all about, for some of you, the fear of putting, you know, that's a burden, that's a fear, you're scared, you know, but put that burden down, just choose yourself, right? Make the move if you want to make the move. Have the discussion if you want to have the discussion. I do believe it's going to work out to your advantage, okay? Now let's get the moon deck here and take a look at the Lover's card with the burden card on top. And again, you know, for some of you, that could be a burden too, logistically. You know, some of you may be trying to get together, but maybe a divorce still isn't finalized, or, you know, you've got exes that are real burdens, pains that are coming around because you've got kids together, they've got kids together. And that really shouldn't be an issue, to be honest with you. If it's meant to be, it'll work out. And again, I think you should choose yourself. If that's what makes you happy, choose that. And don't let other people be a burden to you. You know what? Don't let them have control over you, right? That's choosing to let circumstance be the choice, not you, not what you want. And don't allow that. So let's see what we've got here. Power. Again, this card in this deck specifically is harnessing your power, your specific powers. Not like trying to impose power over the world. It's just harnessing the power that you have to promote your agenda, your needs, your path, okay? And that's exactly what I'm saying here. Again, don't let your fears choose for you. You're too powerful for that. Don't let your circumstances choose for you. Don't let any logistics stand in your way either. You know what? Harness your power and go for what you want. I think that it will work out for you 100%. I see nothing here that's insurmountable for you whatsoever, okay? You have complete power. You just have to choose to utilize it, right? Put it into effect and everything will work out for you. I'm fairly certain here. So let's see, we get one last card here. This is a general advice card on your 10 of Pentacles, but I do think that regardless, again, don't let circumstances, logistics, or your own fears dictate. You have too much power for that. You know, you just need to harness your power and put it to your advantage. Choose you, right? And let's see what the last one here says. All right, it says, you create your own reality. What do you want? It wants you to. What do you want to experience? And again, I don't know how much clearer that could be of this message exactly. It's telling you that you are creating your own reality. You're the one with the power to decide. And what you want does want you. So if you're afraid that they might say, no, I don't want that, I don't see that here, okay? This card's telling me it's not here. You know, if you're afraid that this is going to be too much of a burden or too much, you have too much power for that. You can create your own reality, and everything that you want to experience, this person wants to experience with you as well, okay? So choose yourself, put it into motion, assert your power, okay? So if people are giving you crap about things, if you've got these extenuating circumstances, exes, whatever, that kind of stuff, don't let, you know, stop it. We're done. We're not dealing with that, right? Don't allow the circumstances to control you, okay? Don't let your fears control you, and take control. Create your own. It's what you're saying right here. You create your own reality, and you will be abundant. I mean, 10 of Pentacles, kind of abundant. And that's not just abundant financially. That's like emotionally abundant, spiritually abundant, abundant in every way, because you will be happy and joyful in everything, because you will control your path. You will have what you want, and you won't be letting other circumstances, people, burdens, fears, anything else control you. You will be controlling it. So I hope this works out for you. If it did, please do like, subscribe, share, all that other great stuff, and I hope to see you back soon. Bye.